4.4 circles. Let's review. Remember that the area is how big a shape is. So if each square is 1, the area of the square is 9. The perimeter is how long the boundary of the shape is. Okay. Well, for circles, the perimeter is called the circumference. So there's the circumference. The diameter is the longest line you can draw between 2 points. The radius is half of the diameter. So diameter is d, the radius is r, and we know diameter is 2 times the radius, or the radius is diameter divided by 2. Okay. So, for example, if we change the radius, we'll change the circumference. Now, let's look at what happens when we change the radius, diameter, or circumference. So, let's see. For example, when the radius is 4.25, the diameter is 8.50, and the circumference is 26.7. Okay. If we make the circle bigger, if the radius is 4.69, the diameter is 2 times that, 9.37. The circumference is about 29.47. Okay. Let's do a few more. If the radius is 6, the diameter is 6 plus 6, which is 12. The circumference is about 37.70. Okay. Let's do 2 more. Radius is 7.35. Diameter 14.70. Circumference 46.18. Last one. If the radius is 9.75. The diameter is 2 times that, 19.50. Circumference 61.26. Alright, so not surprisingly, when the circle gets bigger, the circumference gets bigger too. But how does it get bigger? Well, let's do circumference divided by diameter. So we have all of these circles. Right. Let's do circumference divided by the diameter. What do we get? We get basically 3.14 unless we round. So this is 3.14. Let's divide all of them. 3.14. 37.7 divide by 12. That's 3.14. 46.18 divide by 14.7. That's 3.14. 61.26 divide by 19.5. 3.14. Notice that the circumference divided by the diameter is always about 3.14. So there's a name for this. Circumference divided by the diameter is just pi. That's where pi comes from. So pi is about 3.14. Whoops. But pi is circumference divided by diameter. That also means circumference is equal to pi times diameter, because we can multiply both sides by d. And diameter is the same as 2 times radius times 2 times radius. In other words, circumference is 2 times pi times r. On the MCAS, they like to use this formula, but that's where it comes from. Circumference is 2 times pi times r, because it's just pi times the radius, diameter. Okay. So again, circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. The area of a circle is pi r squared. can also write it this way, pi r squared. For problems on the MCAS, if you're looking for a circumference and area, you should make sure you find the radius first. For example, the diameter of a circle is 8 centimeters, so the radius would be 8 divided by 2, which is 4 centimeters. So the circumference would be 2 times pi times 4 centimeters, which is 8 pi centimeters. Area is pi r squared, which is pi times the radius is 4 centimeters squared, which is 16 pi centimeters squared. Okay. Example 2. The area of a circle is 16 pi. What is the circumference? So again, we want to find r first. Area is pi r squared, which is equal to 16 pi. I can divide by pi on both sides. If I do that, I get r squared is equal to 16. Now we take the derivative. We take the square root of both sides. So r is positive or minus 4. In geometry, we know the radius is always positive, so r is 4. Now we can use circumference is 2 pi r. So circumference is 2 times pi times 4. So circumference is 8 pi centimeters. That's the circumference. In MCAS, it might say the diameter of a circle is 16 inches. What is the circumference? Okay. When we have a problem like that, well, once again, radius is 16 divided by 2 inches this time. So it's 8 inches. So circumference is 2 pi. Whoops, sorry. So the circumference has to be 2 times pi times r, which is 2 times pi times 8 inches, which is 16 pi inches. Sometimes on the MCAS, you have to use the fact that pi is about 3.14 to figure out that. So C is 16 times 3.14. You can definitely use a calculator for this part. 16 times 3.14. So it's about 15.24 inches. And the closest one will be B. So that's why B is the answer. Okay. That's it.